stand for the flag of Canada. Thank you.
Welcome back to Thunderbird Stadium at the Point Grey campus at the University of beautiful British Columbia. It's League 1BC Men's Division action as the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy take on the visiting Rivers FC from Kamloops. I'm your match commentator Michael McCall, and I'll have the call this evening for you for this match. If you were with us earlier this afternoon, you have seen the Whitecaps women come away with a big 5-0 win over Rivers. This is a battle between second and fourth in the League 1BC Men's Division. The Whitecaps had hit the summit with a victory over Burnaby FC on Wednesday night. TSS Rovers took the top spot back with their win on Friday, and the Whitecaps will look to get it back again this evening. We'll kick you off with the starting lineups for this one. Rivers FC, led by head coach John Antilov, make 3 changes from their match last weekend in North Vancouver against Altitude. One of those changes coming into goal, his 3rd appearance of the season and his 2nd start, wearing the number 30 jersey, is Jackson Gardner. Number 2, Hagen Kim. Number 5, Elias De Santos. Number 7, Dylan Hooper. Number 11, Robert Woodruff Brown. Number 12, Jonathan Rinaldi. Number 16, Ian Ferguson. Number 17, Will Cowney. Number 19, Marcus De Andrea. Number 21, Dejan Vujovic. And number 22, Harry Taylor. For the home side, Vancouver Whitecaps, led by head coach Ewan Fisher. In goal, making his 5th straight start. He's played every minute for the Whitecaps so far. Number 90, Ben Alexander. Number 34, Riley Ferraro. Number 65 is Maria Lefiva. Number 68, Cristiano Da Silva. Number 71 is Jaden Mineta. Number 72, Nikos Clark-Tozak. Number 79, Matteo Samori. Number 84, Amoni Thomas. Number 87, Sahai Williams. Number 88 is Angelo Zhu. And number 95, Marcus Rukavina. 4 changes for the Whitecaps from the side that got the win against Burnaby on Wednesday evening. The men in the middle, and in the action for this one, the referee Syed Mohammed Masseni, known to his friends as Mo. First assistant referee Quentin Benetti. Second assistant referee Samuel Stewart. And the 4th official, the man that was in the middle for the women's game, Joey Ratcliffe, pulling double duty this afternoon. And it's Rivers that's going to get the action underway here as they kick off in the orange jerseys with the blue stripes, shooting from right to left in this first half. Whitecaps in their traditional white jerseys with the blue shorts and the blue hoop. A good crowd out for this Sunday evening encounter a later start to the usual games as Rivers have the long trip from Kamloops. There's a very cute poodle in front of me that's staring as I talk, so I might get him on to do a little bit of colour as the game goes on. We'll see how things go. But for now, this is going to be a battle between the Whitecaps sitting second, Rivers sitting fourth. The Whitecaps sitting on 7 points from their 4 games, 2 wins, a draw and a defeat. For Rivers, it's a win, a draw and a loss from their 3 matches. Only the 1 goal scored though for Rivers so far this year, 2 against. The Whitecaps have put 9 in the back of the net, but they've also conceded 9. So defensively, they could be a little bit susceptible if Rivers can get their attack firing on all cylinders. 6 different players have found the back of the net for the Whitecaps so far this season. 4 players contributing assists. Hagen Kim, the only goal scorer for Rivers. Tristan Jumeau, the only man to get an assist. In the 4 previous meetings in the first 2 seasons of League 1 BC between these 2 teams, nothing to pick between them. 4 games played, 4 draws, 5 goals for each side. Is somebody going to get the first win between these 2 sides this afternoon? Let's see how this one plays out. Samori now playing that forward to Riley Ferraro. She picks that up, tries to thread that one back through to Rukavina. And Rivers now will come away with it. D'Andrea sent tumbling to the ground under the challenge of Samori there, and Rivers are going to pick themselves up a free kick pretty much at the halfway line. As always, we like to make these streams interactive. If you want to get in touch during the broadcast, you can do so on the YouTube chat. If you want to have this on your TV and not play about with the YouTube chat, you can also get in touch with me on Twitter at AFTN Canada. Let us know where you're watching this one from, who you're cheering on, your thoughts on the League 1 BC season. We'll cover it all as the broadcast goes on. As the Whitecaps now get their own throw-in on the far side of the pitch. Angela Zhu over to take this one, leading the team with assists. 3 assists on the season for Zhu, 1 goal so far. David Ajagbe leading the scoring for the Whitecaps. He has 3 goals. Riley Ferraro has 2 to his name. Whitecaps welcomed back a couple of their academy graduates in the midweek game. Jaden Mineta and Nikos Clark-Tozak. Mineta getting himself on the score sheet as well, so making an instant impact as he returned to the side. Out there today wearing the number 71 jersey. The Seattle Redhawks student back for a 3rd season in League 1. As Rivers now will bring this one out. D'Andrea plays it back to his captain, DeSantis. 10 returnees to Rivers FC this season. 11 current Thomson Rivers Wolfpack players with 2 commitments for the upcoming college season as well. So there'll be a lot of chemistry already on this Rivers side. As Rivers now try to get their first attack going up the right hand side, it just takes a touch of a Whitecap player as Hagen Kim tried to bring that one forward, and they're going to get a throw in midway in the Whitecaps half. Beautiful weather for football tonight here at Thunderbird. Not too hot, not too cold. The wind has also pretty much died down at pitch level. Rinaldi sends the high up and under. It's brought down. It comes back to Rinaldi. He'll play it back. Rivers will switch it out now to the left-hand side. No room for them there. They go back to the right. And Harry Taylor tries to play that one through. It's easily cut out by Sahai Williams, and a big boot forward by Ben Alexander. Alexander back playing with the Whitecaps, as I mentioned, played every minute of every game so far. 2 college seasons under his belt with South Carolina Gamecocks, but making the move to Boston College for the upcoming NCAA season. That transfer has allowed the Whitecaps to get him in a little bit earlier than some of the other NCAA players around the league. There's no one really able to bring the ball down so far and get much going. That's a loose one there. It's well read though by Thomas. He's had a couple of good showings so far this season in League One. Battling away still, Amoni Thomas. Gives it out to Samori. He is forced back under pressure. The Caps will now switch it out. Play it out off the back. Lefeva. Williams now. Bit of a loose one there. Picked up by Rivers, and DeAndrea plays that one back to Jackson Gardner. 21-year-old with a lot of experience, back playing for Rivers this season. Spent the 2022 League 1BC season with Rivers. Thomson Rivers alumni went and spent 2023 playing down in Australia. Signed pro with Glenarchy Knights in Tasmania. Then made the move to North Eastern Metrostars in Adelaide. Back playing League 1BC this summer as he weighs up his next professional options, and he'll be a very key piece to this Rivers side. Rivers hoping to try and make the playoffs for the first time in their history on both the men and the women's side. Very early days, of course, in the standings, but Rivers sitting in that 4th and final playoff spot just now. Williams now out to Thomas. He's got a lot of room here to deliver a good cross into the box. Doesn't do so though. It's well cut out by Rivers, and now they'll bring this one out. Vujovic tried to get that forward to Woodruff Brown, but it's snuffed out by the Caps, and they'll move it out to the left. Been a midfield tussle so far through the first 8 and a bit minutes of this one. No goalmouth action as of yet. Nine of these Whitecaps starters have played in every match so far this season, making their 5th appearance this afternoon. Whitecaps have played an extra game from everyone else in the division just now, and getting points on the board early in this league, as we've seen for the past 2 seasons, is crucial as players move on over the summer for college commitments, holiday commitments and the like. Whitecaps, of course, the defending League 1BC champions. Rivers just moving it along the back line, looking for some kind of space to open up in any of the channels, and they might get one now with a great diagonal ball. Just has too much on, runs away there from Dejan Vujovic into the arms of Ben Alexander, and the Whitecaps will quickly get on with this himself. Feel that space is going to be a premium out there this afternoon. These are 2 sides that play a very good midfield battle. Good to see Sebastian Jakowski, the Vancouver FC player, and UBC Thunderbird here to take in some League 1 BC action. Moni Thomas, little give and go there. Thomas, first time crossing to the box. It's not cleared well by Rivers, but a little shove in the back there, seen by Mo Messeni, and that's going to give Rivers a chance now to get a little bit of respite in the back. DeSantis, long ball forward, that's maybe asking a lot here for Vujovic to try and chase down. It just is going to run out. Referee Mo Messeni not happy with where that was taken from, and Caps will get a second go at it. Lights on here at Thunderbird Stadium, which feels a little bit early for them to be on. I'm pretty sure you could get through this whole game without having the lights on. Zhu now. So much of the Whitecaps attack this season has gone through Angelo Zhu. And it's Zhu again on the ball just now. Little touch inside, he gets it back. Hasn't found any room yet so far this afternoon. The Caps will try and switch it out to the right hand side. That is well read though and picked off by a twisting and turning Vujovic. Thomas though, good recovery play to break that up, but in the right place at the right time to pick up the loose ball. Where's Rinaldi? Cowney now. Touch inside, and that through ball, just a little bit of misunderstanding there. Woodruff Brown running back as the ball came through there from Hagen Kim. It was the right idea. And an absolutely beautiful Sunday evening on a long weekend. Doesn't get better than this in BC. Not too hot, great footballing conditions, and it's good to see a really good crowd out for this one as well. There's a good crowd out for the women's game. Probably the best turnout I think there's been for one of the Caps home games so far this season. Some River supporters have made the trip from Kamloops as well to cheer on their family and friends. It's a long ball, flicked on by Samori, headed into the box, but no Caps takers there, and Jackson Gardner will easily come out to collect that one. Got a few interested spectators as well out. Mike Mosher, the UBC head coach, sitting up just behind me, taking in the action. Maybe doing some scouting on the Thompson Rivers Wolfpack players as well for the upcoming college season. Williams now out to Amoni Thomas. He's had a lot of room out in that right wing. If they can maybe get the ball to him a little bit more, he's hugging that sideline. And he certainly has got pace to burn. Vujovic is playing very much inside as well in the left back position, but comes over well to meet that one and head it out before Thomas can get on the end of it. Caps quickly on with it. Williams now looking to see if the long ball was on. It wasn't, so it comes back to Clark Tozak. Mentioned Mike Mosher from UBC taking in the action. UBC Thunderbirds recruited quite a few of the Whitecaps Academy players for the 2023 Canada West season. So it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys might make the jump as well. As a great crunch and tackle in. A lot of these guys playing their first year though in League 1 BC. They've still got another year before they get to college level. As Kim chips this one in for Woodruff Brown, but just too much on that. Again, a really good idea there from Hagon Kim, but just has too much on it. Woodruff Brown acknowledges the good through ball, the Moose Jaw Saskatchewan forward. He's just coming off his own rookie season last year with the Saskatchewan Huskies. 2 goals scored on his debut amongst the 4 that he got. Vujovic, little touch inside there to Rinaldi. Samori though is battling away. Does feel like an afternoon where patience is going to be the virtue for both of these sides. As I mentioned, space is going to be a premium out there, and if anyone can find a way to unlock any space in any of the channels, that could be the difference here. And this is a great chance here for Rivers. Nice little cut inside. Ball comes back to Kim. He's going to play across to Vujovic, who's got himself back up in a good position. Nice ball in by Vujovic, looking for Woodruff Brown. It's played into the centre for Kim. And taking no chances at all. Amoni Thomas, the big boot on that, clearing that one into touch. Rivers though quickly get back onto it. Harry Taylor thought about the long ball forward and thought better of it. Vujovic outside, curler, trying to play in Woodruff Brown. Snuffed out again though by the Caps backline. DeSantis now bringing it out once again for Rivers. They've enjoyed a bit of the possession in the last few minutes here, the Kamloops side. Not been able to test Ben Alexander just yet. Jackson Gardner though also not been tested in the Rivers goal. Rinaldi plays that forward, comes back out to Vujovic. Again, just nothing available for the forward pass for Rivers, so they're forced to play it back and build out once again from the back. It's a very cagey affair out there so far. Vujovic in a lot of space out here on the left-hand side if they can get the ball out to him. Now Rinaldi, he's got Vujovic ahead of him. Little flick on, and tried to get the give and go going there with his teammate. Didn't quite come off. D'Andrea, the left back, also in a very free position in that attack, and actually freer than Vujovic, and just nobody playing the ball out to him. Thomas looked to try and do the overlap and run to get it back there from Samori, but he forced back under the pressure from D'Andrea. Marcus D'Andrea liking to get forward from that left back position. It's fascinating to see Dejan Vujovic dropping back, as they seem to have this understanding. As soon as D'Andrea makes himself go forward, Vujovic will drop back and fill that spot. Feel Rivers maybe need to exploit that a little bit more coming up the left wing. As we approach the midway point of the first half here. Still goalless at Thunderbird Stadium. Could we be on for a fifth straight draw between these two teams? Still a lot of football to be played. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us on the L1BC YouTube channel. And here goes Samori. He's got three options. Plays it out to Thomas. Thomas still strayed into an offside position, and flag goes up quickly by the near side linesman. L1BC would like to acknowledge the following league partners: CIBC, the lead partner for Canada Soccer, the Canadian Premier League and League One; Gatorade, Rehydrate, Replenish, Refuel; the Cruyff Institute, educating athletes, sport and business professionals to become leaders in sport management; and Derby Star, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball for League One. Macron, work hard, play harder. Vibrant Performance, Canada's most trusted brand for automotive race parts and accessories. The Canadian Premier League, where Canadian soccer takes flight. One Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. And BC Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire and unite. It feels that this game is needing somebody to be inspired to add the magical breakthrough moment. Very much getting played out from the backs. Defences on top. A battle in the midfield and no real attacking threat from either side able to be mustered so far. That long ball forward, surely. D'Andrea was offside there. Linesman kept his flag down. It plays it back now to Vujovic. D'Andrea out in a lot of room here. Tries to get past, gets the cross in, gets the better of Amoni Thomas to send that cross in. I mean, he looked so much offside there as that ball came over. Don't need to ask for lines to be drawn from VAR in this one either. We've got a lot of them on the field to act as a guide. And a loose one there from Rivers. It's the first kind of loose pass we've really seen tonight, and it's pounced upon right away by Marcus Rukavina. But the Whitecaps forced back again as no options open for them to advance this one. Williams now to Thomas. How many times have we said that so far this evening? Thomas putting on the Jets, getting the better of Vujovic, sending a good cross into the box. It just eludes Rukavina, who was flying in to meet that one. Ball just a little bit behind him and he couldn't get contact there. Takes a touch off a Rivers player though, and it's going to be out for a Whitecaps throw-in on the far side. The loose ball now picked up by Rinaldi. Jonathan Rinaldi played 11 games last year for Rivers, getting on the score sheet once. Just finished his 3rd season with Thomson Rivers. His brother Lucas also on this Rivers side, and he's committed to Thomson Rivers for the upcoming college season. D'Andrea now. He's found himself with a lot of space on that left touchline, as has Vujovic, and it's Vujovic on the ball, does well to keep that in. That looked like that was on the line there, but the linesman flag up very quickly for it having gone out. We're looking at a little bit of a chess match out there just now. Feels the game just needs somebody to grab it by the scruff of the neck. I feel if that is going to happen, it's going to come from one of the guys on the wing, either a Moni Thomas for the Whitecaps or Vujovic or D'Andrea for Rivers. They seem to be the guys that's getting the most space just now, and as they are marking each other, that would make a lot of sense. Williams, 17-year-old centre-back, born in Kingston, Jamaica, lives in Richmond now with his family. He has impressed in the early days of this L1BC campaign. One back here by the Whitecaps. They've got a chance to break, but it's only Rukavina as the lone man up, and that just taken off the foot there of De Silva. Couldn't really get anything going, didn't have a lot of help, and easily closed down by Rivers as the Whitecaps will get another throw in here. 29 minutes gone, still goalless at Thunderbird Stadium. Rivers have been enjoying maybe the better the possession for a spell. Whitecaps seem to have got back into the ascendancy though, I would say, in the last 5 minutes here, and it's been them doing most of the pressing since we got past the mid-May mark. Thomas, just a little bit too much trickery for his own good there, fell over the ball, but no harm done, and the Whitecaps will keep this alive and switch it up to the left side. Long ball forward here for Zhu to try and chase down. He's going to get onto it as well. Cuts it back perfectly, but well read there by DeSantis. That was a very important boot in there from Elijah DeSantis. DeSantis, one of a number of players on this Riverside to have won the gold medal at the U Sports Championship game with the Wolfpack back in 2022, defeating UBC in the final on penalties at Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. And D'Andrea again, and lots of room up this left wing if they want to play the long ball to him. He seems to be wearing a cloak of invisibility out there, the lack of balls that's getting played out to him. This time, DeSantis does find him. It's closed down very quickly though by Williams, and a good follow-up there by Williams to take that off the foot of Vujovic. Ball comes back out now to Vujovic. He's got the overlapping run from D'Andrea if he wants it. Plays it inside to Rinaldi, and that's a wild swing, but at least a shot on goal. Well, not on target, but a shot towards the goal at least, which is a little bit more like it. Hasn't been a lot of space and a lot of chances for either side to get any shots in. The famous Thunderbird swirling wind that I regularly talk about in these broadcasts seems to be in full effect just now. Flags on the scoreboard blowing to the right, the corner flag on the far side blowing to the left. Does have its own little weather pattern sometimes up here at the Point Grey campus as well. De Silva brings it down, but with his hand, says referee Masseni, and Rivers now will get the free kick. Jackson Gardner directing traffic for Rivers at the back there. He's had a very quiet evening so far, hasn't had a lot to do at all. DeSantis, long ball forward, well read though by Zhu. Caps win a free kick in the middle of the park here. That's a ball played out for Zhu. Zhu gets it as well, and he's brought down, but fairly, says the referee. It looked a foul. It's a nice ball over though from Christian De Silva. .11 minutes of the half remaining, still looking for the breakthrough here. Can Rivers get it with this chance? That's well read there by Thomas to cut that out as the ball coming through to Dejan Vujovic. Samori forcing, I think Taylor that was there to have to play that one into touch. Caps get a throw in midway in the Rivers half. De Silva hasn't got a lot of room, but almost skipped through the middle of the two Rivers players there. Tries to win a corner, but unfortunately knocks it into touch, and it's going to be a goal kick for Rivers. certainly feels that DeSantis for Rivers and Williams, his centre-back compatriot on the Whitecap side, have been the players that probably touched the ball the most during this first half so far. A lot of the build-up play for both sides coming out off the back. Whitecaps with the throw-in. Zhu battling away in his own half, and Caps will come away with the ball. Here is Williams again on the ball. Stretching De Silva there, twisting, turning away, gets past one, can't get past the second. Rivers pick his pocket and will get a chance to get something going themselves. Mineta battling away there in the middle, but now it's a chance here for Rivers to break, and there's room here to send in a great cross. Hits the byline, and the deflection into the side net, and does bring up a corner kick though for Rivers. I think this is their first one of the afternoon. And it looks like it's going to be Hagen Kim making his way over to take this one. The South Korean, the only player to find the back of the net for Rivers so far this season. Can he whip this one in to see Rivers take the lead before half time here? Some big bodies in the box for the Kamloops side. Kim, not a great delivery, it has to be said, and easily mopped up by Clark Tozak, who kicks that into touch. And Kim will have a second attempt at launching this one in, this time from a long throw. The NBC Timberwolf player, we've seen him do this in Canada West. Good delivery. Not well controlled in the box as Zhu tries to bring that out, and a good foul to have on the Whitecaps midfielder to break that up, allow Rivers to regroup and get their players back. Sometimes you just have to give those fouls away, and if you get away with doing it without a yellow card, all the very better, which was the case there for Rivers. Clark Tozak has a long ball here forward, and a coming together there between Thomas and Gardner, and it's DeSantis taking umbrage at that. I mean, Thomas was in his right to go for that. Picks himself up a yellow card for the challenge. I'd need to see that one back, but I mean, that was a 50-50 ball, and Amoni Thomas had every right to go for that. It was a great ball launched forward from Nikos Clark Tozak. He read it so well. Thomas used his pace. Gardner, I'm just watching it back there, Gardner did probably get to the ball first, and Thomas went in with his feet up high, so maybe a justifiable booking there, but certainly Thomas had every right to try and make himself go for that one. Gardner looks no worse for wear for the challenge. But that could be a key for the Whitecaps here. Route 1 football isn't the most fashionable. I regularly speak about this. I'm a big proponent for Route 1 football at times. It still has its place in the modern game, and it can really catch teams out and defences out, as you saw there. It can be very, very effective.
Yellow card caution to Vancouver's number 84, Amani Thomas, in the 40th minute.
Thomas still picking up the first booking of the match, and he's on the ball just now. Little cut inside, just overruns that and gets... It looked like it was brought down by his own player there, but Whitecaps get a free kick. I genuinely thought it was DeSantis that caught him there as he ran through. Williams Back out to Thomas. Looked like he may have ran that out. Linesman felt he kept it in. Mineta now. Little shimmy keeps it alive for the Caps. Zhu forced to play this one back. Lefebvre. Thomas again, he's got a little bit of room to get across in here. Too close towards Gardner, and that's easily dealt with by the Rivers keeper. Split his time this season so far for Rivers in goal with Sviatek Artemenko, the Ukrainian. DeSantis, long ball forward, looking to try and play in D'Andrea, but well cut out by Thomas again. Most of the success the Whitecaps have had in this first half has been up this right side, and a lot of it has been with Williams playing the ball forward to Thomas. Unfortunately, the penetration into the final third for the Whitecaps has been pretty much non-existent through the first 42 minutes of this one. Certainly feels to be lacking some quality final balls in that final third, and that will be something that Ewan Fisher will look to talk to his team about. He's got some good attacking options on the bench to mix things up, as does John Antilov with the Rivers side and his substitutes. Caps leading scorer David Ajagbe, one of the players on the bench that I'm sure we'll see sooner rather than later in the second half of this one. Whitecaps bench does look the stronger of the two for trying to bring in some difference makers. Rivers have a lot of their best players on the pitch just now, and Thomas is in a lot of room here if they can get the ball out to him. He's forced to track a little bit back, but the ball does come to him now. Touch inside, moves to the outside. Very well played there though by Marcus D'Andrea. Really liked what I've seen from D'Andrea. Player that will know a lot of these guys. He was with the Whitecaps Academy in 2021. Went to play for Burnaby FC and won a national championship with them last year in 2023. Has also spent time over in Italy in 2022 with the Pescara Calcio Academy. So very good football and education for Marcus D'Andrea, and you've seen it this afternoon. He has looked one of the more dangerous players. He's in acres of room just now if he wants to continue a run going forward, and if they can get the ball out to this wing. Just now though, they are trying to battle up the right. Crossfield ball. Don't know if it was meant for Rinaldi or Kim or for D'Andrea, but it's picked off instead by the Whitecaps, and they've got a chance here. And not only do they have a chance, they've got the opening goal, and it's come from nothing from Matteo Samori. An overhit cross by Rivers set that one up. It was quickly pounced upon by the Whitecaps, and from back to front in no time at all. Lovely through ball, setting up Matteo Samori, and from a tight angle he finishes that one past Jackson Gardner, and right on the stroke of half time the Whitecaps have a 1-0 lead.
Vancouver goal is scored by number 79, Matteo Samori. The assist to number 84, Amani Thomas, in the 45th minute. Samori from Thomas in the 45th
And that's pretty much the last action of the first half here. And all afternoon so far I've been speaking about the danger that Amoni Thomas has been out on the wing. This time picks up the loose pass in the middle of the park, powers forward, plays the perfect through ball for Matteo Samori, and Samori finishes with aplomb past Jackson Gardner. That's how the first half ended. That is how we sit at half time. It's Whitecaps 1, Rivers 0. Stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice and join us in 15 minutes for the second half of this one. It should be a cracker. Welcome back to Thunderbird Stadium for the second half of League 1 BC Men's Division action. The Whitecaps lead Rivers 1-0. 45th minute opener coming from Matteo Samori, and the Whitecaps get the second half underway here wearing their white jerseys with the blue shorts and the blue hoop, shooting from right to left in this half. Rivers in their orange outfit with the blue stripes. We'll cast our eyes around to see if there's any half-time substitutions.
First substitution for Vancouver at the half. Out of the match, number 34, Riley Ferraro.
Number 34 for the Whitecaps.
Sydney Wathuta.
Riley Ferraro making way, and coming on, number 85, Sydney Wathuta. Back from college as, lost in the sun I think there by Jackson Gardner as the ball came down, but little foul in the process spares any blushes there for the Rivers keeper. That does seem to be the only sub at half-time. Sydney Wathuta coming on for the Whitecaps. Already has 2 assists to his name from his first game of the season midweek against Burnaby, and a very good win for the Whitecaps in that one. It's a 4-2 victory midweek for the Whitecaps. Their second back-to-back win after starting the season with a draw and a defeat to TSS. Come away with 3-2 and 4-2 victories over Harbourside and Burnaby. Can they make it 3 straight by holding on to their narrow lead here? It was a very even first half if you're just joining us. Very little to choose between the teams, very little goal-mouth action as well, it has to be said, from the two teams, and not quite against the run of play, because I think the Whitecaps were more in the ascendancy than Rivers towards the end of that half, but on a quick breakaway from a broken play by Rivers, Amoni Thomas, the number 84, who has been excellent in the first half for the Whitecaps out there, stormed through the middle, set up Matteo Samori, and the 18-year-old, born in Milan, now moved from Calgary to join the Whitecaps residency programme, finished for his second of the season. And that is the difference between these two teams as we are in the second half here. DeSantis, well closed down there by Zhu, breaking that play up, and the Whitecaps will get a chance to build this one from the back. Clark Tozak, who we already saw with a fantastic long ball forward. He has got a good delivery, another one of 3 Academy alumni on this Whitecap side right now. As tearing forward there was De Silva. He felt he was bundled over for a free kick, but the Whitecaps will just have to settle for a corner instead. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, you can do so on the YouTube chat, or myself, Michael McCall, on Twitter at AFTN Canada. As the Whitecaps have the corner here, it's Angelo Zhu. He'll whip this into the box. Jaden Mineta moving dangerously into the edge of the 6-yard box. The ball comes across and it runs through, but it's Mineta that's going to chase this one down under the attention of Elijah DeSantis, who followed Mineta's run the whole way, and a big block there from DeSantis. Mineta, little touch inside to Rukavina, trying to dance his way past the 2 defenders, but more than a match for that. Dylan Hooper standing tall there. And now it's a chance for Rivers to break forward, and I mean, it's going to be a yellow card coming out. That was just more clumsiness from Nikos Clark-Tozak, I think, than like deliberate bringing down Robert Woodruff Brown. As it's turned out, it worked out very well for the Whitecaps, because Woodruff Brown was away to the races there if he had gotten to the end of that loose ball. Instead, Rivers will have to settle for a free kick 35 yards out from goal. And Hagon Kim is going to be standing over to take this one.
Yellow card caution in the 50th minute to Vancouver's number 72.
Second booking of the match. Both of them go on the Whitecaps' way. As Kim chips that one into the box. It's well met and a looping header. Not troubling Ben Alexander. It would take a lot to get one of those over Alexander, the 6'3" keeper. Standing tall there as now the Whitecaps get a chance to break up the other side. Thomas making the overlapping run, getting the nice ball to the back post, onto the head, into the back of the net. Sydney Wathuta. An immediate impact off the bench, but what a delivery coming in there from Amoni Thomas. His second assist of the afternoon and a first goal of the season for the returning Sydney Wathuta. And 2 goals to the good now for the Whitecaps. Harsh perhaps on Rivers, who's been very much in this game, but it's a mountain to climb now for the Kamloops side. They want to make this trip west worthwhile before the long trip home. Sydney Wathuta there with his first goal. Made the transition to college last year as down. Getting treatment here, or needing to get treatment here, is Harry Taylor.
Scored by number 85, Sydney Wathuta. The assist to number 84, Monty Thomas, in the 51st minute. Wathuta from Thomas in the 51st minute.
Hopefully this is not going to be too much of an injury for Harry Taylor. He's looked very good back there, the Englishman. Got a good pedigree as he made the move over to Canada to play with Thomson Rivers in the college game. He's getting helped up here. He's had 2 seasons under his belt with the Wolfpack after originally turning pro over in England with Aldershot. Actually made his pro debut for the Shots just aged 18, and his play there earned him a transfer to Charlton Athletic, and although he didn't break into the first team there, he had a number of loan spells in the English non-league with the likes of Billericay Town and Tunbridge Angels, Dulwich Hamlet, team that I support. I'm a member of their supporters trust, Welling United as well. He is off the pitch just now, and it looks like his day is done, as there's going to be a double substitution coming up here for Rivers. Taylor, one of the players coming off, and Marcus Scott, the number 15, looks set to come on for him. That might be the only sub. I thought it was going to be a double sub, but they haven't made the second one yet. They're still getting that one sorted out.
VWFC in the 54th minute. Out of the match, number 22, Harry Taylor, replaced by number 15, Marcus Scott.
Marcus Scott, that's come on for Rivers, 24-year-old midfielder. Be interesting to see the formation change, or who slots in where. It looks like Ian Ferguson has dropped back to partner Elijah DeSantis in the middle of the Rivers back line now. With Scott moving into that midfield role. The Manitoban. And here goes the Caps again, and Gardner out quick, and he had to be there, denying Rukavina. Actually, I apologise, it wasn't Rukavina that was in on goal there. It was Samori again that was in looking for his second. as that second goal seems to have lit something off a fire under the Caps now. They sense blood in the water and pushing now to try and add to their tally. Goal difference could very much come into play come the end of the season when it comes to playoff positioning. Most wins head-to-heads and then goal difference, the tiebreakers. Obviously very early to be talking about such things, but at the same time never too early to talk about these things. That's why teams do not let up, and it's important that they just keep the pressure on. Right now, if this result stands, the Whitecaps will move back to the top of the L1BC standings, just ahead of TSS Rovers by a single point. TSS though do have 2 games on hand on the Whitecaps. Rovers unbeaten, 3 wins out of 3 to start their 2024 L1BC campaign. Rivers were also looking to try and build on their 4th place that they have at the moment, try and solidify their place in the playoff positions. Still a lot of time for them to get back into this, and they had a couple of flashes in the first half, but you feel they need to add some kind of attacking spark out there. They've been out-muscled by the Whitecaps in the second half, who looked in the last 2 games a very different side to the one that started off the season. As here comes the Rivers now, well cut out there by Amoni Thomas. He's got 2 assists this afternoon. Can he add to that? Rukavina playing a bit of a deeper role now that Wathuuta's come on. And it's Wathuuta, the goal scorer of the second goal, on the ball just now. Sydney Wathuuta looks like he's shot up since I saw him play in League One for the last 2 seasons, I've got to say. Definitely looks a little bit taller out there. He is listed as 6'3". Had a very good rookie season, Sydney Wathuuta, with the University of Massachusetts. An American East All rookie. Sorry, he was with Vermont. No, he scored his first goal against the University of Massachusetts in his very first start with Vermont. Oh, and he nearly got a second there as that one cannons off the crossbar. That one is still going to be shaken. But Hooper's got a chance now to bring this out for Rivers. That was some strike from close range there from Sydney Wathuuta. He's certainly added a spark to this Whitecap side since he's come on at the half. Caps happy just to move this one around the back line right now. They have no pressing need to really go looking to try and force anything here. They want to just keep themselves tight at the back, hold on to this 2-goal lead as the hour mark quickly approaches here at Thunderbird Stadium. Beautiful evening for football, and the Whitecaps playing a beautiful game so far. Here goes Thomas. Cuts inside, looking for the pass, not on, forced to play that one back. Whitecaps move the ball so quickly and effortlessly, it appears at times. And they've had a lot of success up that right wing with Williams and Thomas. Move to a back three. Now they've got this 2-goal lead, and it's really paid off as Lefebvre plays it out to Thomas. First timer knocked forward, looking for Samori, but well read and cut out. DeSantis twisting and turning away to make room to send this one forward. It's flicked on by Lefebvre, but no Rivers player there able to capitalise on that, and the Caps will now get a chance to bring it out. Zhu. Nicely done by Da Silva. Thomas powering forward yet again. So that was Williams powering forward to Thomas, as we've seen so many times this evening. But Thomas giving away the foul, and that is going to bring up another pair of substitutions here for Rivers. Making way is the number 11, Robert Woodruff Brown. Coming on, number 10, Tristan Jumeau. Will Cowney making way as well, the number 17, and coming on, the number 6, Zach Hamedi for Rivers.
Number 17, Will Kahn, replaced by number 6, Zach Hamedi.
Tristan Jumeau, the only player to register an assist so far for Rivers this year, so can he conjure up some magic to get them back into this one? No pressing urgency yet from the Kamloops side. They've still got just under half an hour to try and get themselves back into this one. They need to do it 1 goal at a time, of course. Ben Alexander's not been that busy a goalkeeper through the first hour of this one. As we see, here come Rivers now on an attack, but bundled over by the Caps, and their Rivers are going to get themselves a free kick. 15 yards into their own half. They'll try and launch this one forward. DeSantis standing over it. Not a lot of options for him up there, it has to be said. As the Caps win that tussle on the end of the box, Lefebvre. Oh, that's a loose one, but well read and picked up in the end by Samai Williams. Zhu. Looked like he was going to play that forward to Samori, but didn't see the pass on at the end and used his football brain to keep hold of the ball, and the White Caps have now moved it up the right wing. Thomas. Played back to Williams, a crossfield ball now to Manetta. Alexander with the big boot forward with Thuta. Going to challenge Kim there. Kim getting the better of it. And Hooper now has a chance to turn, but forced back by Rukavina. Hooper gets it again, chips it forward. Looking for the return, and that looked a sore one on Jumeau all the way up here. No malice in it, it's just he put his head really low there just as the ball was connected with and smacked straight into his face. Ferguson tried to play that forward. The ricochet falls perfectly here for Angela Zhu. He's in on goal, goes for the back post. Doesn't miss by much, with Wathuta running in as well, and was just a couple of steps off connecting with that one at the back. But that was great play there from Angela Zhu. He is the team leader with 3 assists. Has a goal to his credit there, and almost got a second for the season as well. He got the Whitecaps' very first goal, and the very first goal in the men's division in 2024. Sorry, the second goal in the 2024, because it was a comeback goal against Rivers, against Unity with Patrick, is it? Long ball forward, they're trying to play in. Jumeau just finds a Whitecaps head. Now Jumeau has it. He's got Hooper to his outside, plays it out to Hooper. Hooper's got time to get in a cross here, gives it back to Jumeau. Trying to find space to get a shot off, can't, has to play it back to Hooper. Good delivery from the midfielder, it's bouncing about at the back. And a foul adjudged there on Rivers, and that's a tough one for them, as the Whitecaps now will make a double substitution of their own. Mateus Amori, the goal scorer, the first goal scorer, making way. Coming on, looks to be number 23, Amir Gassemi. Coming on as well is going to be number 55, which I think should be Isaac Charbonneau. Let me just check that they haven't switched some numbers out on me.
Second substitution for Vancouver in the 67th minute. Out of the match, number 79, Mateus Amori, and replaced by number 89, Elijah Bean.
It's number 89, Elijah Bean, is coming on.
Out of the match, number 95, Marcus Rukavina. And into the match, number 23, Amir Gassemi.
It was 95 that was going off, Marcus Rukavina. So there we go. So it is number 23, Amir Gassemi, coming on, and number 89, Elijah Bean. He's impressed in a couple of outings I've seen from him so far. St. Ricketts' nephew. So a good footballing pedigree in that family. And Bean just on the ball there, just muscled out. Amir Gassemi is another player that has looked good in the minutes that I've seen him play so far in League One. The 18-year-old Iranian. Gassemi has seen some time with WFC 2 last year as well, making 2 sub-appearances. Getting a goal as well in the very last game of the season.
Fourth substitution for VWFC in the 68th minute. Leading the match, number 21, Dejan Vujovic. Into the match, number 4, Alberto Curry.
Alberto Curry coming on for Rivers, wearing the number 4 jersey. Dejan Vujovic, the number 21, making way for Curry. Curry, a 22-year-old forward. And here go the Whitecaps again, just slightly overrun there, and it's taken off his feet. A chance now for Rivers to break up the wing. Kim has got Hooper up ahead of him. Comes back to Kim, little cut inside. Well read though by the Caps, and they'll get a chance to bring this one forward themselves. That was a good play there by Jaden Mineta, and as he played the ball forward to Zoo, bundled over there by Marcus Scott. The Caps will get a free kick just inside their half. Selfishly, I'm hoping most of the action is going to be in the Rivers half for the remainder of this half, because the sun, as is its wont here at Thunderbird at this time of night, is in a horrible position for both commentary and camera if Rivers are on the attacks. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up for that, in case you suddenly just see bright lights on the screen. Rivers though will need to get some attacks going in that half of the pitch in these last 20 minutes to try and salvage something from this. Still very much possible. They're just trailing by 2. If they can get the next goal here, we are going to set up a barn-storming finish, and we've had a couple of those already in League 1BC, and both the men and the women's side. One of them here, that Unity Whitecaps game to kick off the season, was some crazy stuff. When it went into stoppage time, we had a penalty save, we had a couple of close calls at the other end. And if Rivers can get a goal here and give themselves some time as well to try and push on and get the second, then we could be in for another exciting end to the evening. Has to be said though, right now, the Whitecaps have looked very solid defensively. Williams, Clark, Tozak and Mineta effortlessly, it kind of looks like, just getting through the game. Made it look a lot easier than it is, of course, out there. Clark Tozak floats that forward, looking for Zhu. It's cut out by Kim. Ball falls to Rinaldi. Out to Hooper, who's been a lot more involved in this half. Tries to get himself past Benetta, but runs out of room, and that ball will go behind for a Whitecaps goal kick. Alexander not in too big a rush to take it. Curiosities in the chat wants to know how many subs you are allowed in the game. You can basically, it's 6 or 7. Pretty sure the Whitecaps girls have used all their subs in matches, so you are looking at 7. And there isn't sub windows as you get elsewhere in the bigger leagues. You can just make the substitutions as and when you want. Bean now. Cuts inside. Slots that one through. Without is waiting for the cut back. Well read though, and cut out, but the pressure's still on here for the Whitecaps. Lefeva out to De Silva. Thomas unceremoniously bundled over there by Alberto Curi. The Whitecaps will quickly get on with this one. They know a third goal will put this one to bed. Ewan Fisher, the Whitecaps head coach, will be a very happy man just now watching this playing out his side, looking set to go back to the top of the League 1BC standings. Feels like it's going to be a battle all the way to the end of the season between TSS and the Whitecaps for that top spot. The 2022 League 1BC champions, and of course the Whitecaps winning the championship last year for the first time. Rivers though still have a say in this one as we move into the final 15 minutes of the second half. Hagon Kim standing over this free kick. Rivers sent a lot of bodies forward as the ball comes in, it's cleared by the Caps. Bathuta brings it down, little touch outside to Bean, and he's going to put the Jets on here. He's got support up, slots this one through to Zhu. He leaves it for Bathuta, who fires the shot in, and that's well held by Jackson Gardner. Fantastic break there by the Whitecaps, but here goes Rivers in reply. Scott plays this one out wide. Play back inside to Rinaldi. Gissemi turns, tries to play that up to Bathuta. And Lefevre just brought down with a follow-through challenge there, and the Caps will get a free kick midway in their own half as we've moved into the final 15 minutes here at Thunderbird. Donut 15 asking if teams get relegated from League One to the VMSL. I'd love to see that. That would be fantastic. But no, the bottom team doesn't face that punishment. VMSL Winter League as well, so they do run at different times. We'd love to see some kind of movement though between teams in the VMSL, the Fraser Valley and the Vancouver Island Soccer League into League 1BC as the league progresses. And a heavy challenge there from Hooper on Mineta, and I don't know if the camera picked up his screech as the tackle went in, but that sounded a painful one on Jaden Mineta. He does go to college down in Seattle, so they've maybe taught him to try and scream in tackles just to try and earn an advantage. I'm sure that's what Seattleites do in their games. But he's up on his feet here, and no worse for wear, and he's going to take the throw in. Voided everyone and played back to his keeper by DeSantis. Rivers will bring it out the left-hand side. Hooper now gets the ball, turns. Hamedi forced back by the Caps' pressure there. Rivers though keeping hold of the ball. Time running out, they need to get something going soon. Curry, nice little flick on there into Scott. Tries to cut through the two Whitecaps players, takes a touch off it though, and it is going to be out for a Rivers corner on the far side, and you feel if they are going to get back into this one, they need to try and get something from this. It's quickly taken. Kim. Rivers just being forced back here though, and that feels like such a wasted opportunity from that corner. Even more so now that the far side linesman has indicated it's a Whitecaps throw-in on the far side. And the Whitecaps will not be in any hurry to take this one. Throw-in flicked on by Bean. Long ball forward, trying to play in Scott, I think that was an important Whitecaps head, flicked that on, and Alexander quickly off his line to deal with that one. Alexander long ball up the field, looking to try and find the header, but through that, closed down by Gissemi there. DeSantis taking a little bit too long on the ball, but Rivers escaped from any danger. Time running out fast though for the Kamloops side. We're into the last 10 minutes of this one. Whitecaps set to make another substitution here. As Bean wins that battle on the sidelines. And we will now get the substitution.
For substitution for Vancouver in the 81st minute. Leaving the match, number 88, Angelo Zhu. Into the match, number 98, David Ajagbe.
And Angelo Zhu making way for the Whitecaps' leading scorer, David Ajagbe. If Rivers thought they were going to get any respite from the substitutions, the Whitecaps bring on their 3-goal man for the season. He's also got an assist to his name as well, as they look to see out the final few minutes here. And what an attack that is just now for the Whitecaps, with Thuta and Ajagbe up front, with Bean on the wings and Gissemi as well. It's going to be a real handful for Rivers in these closing moments as they themselves try to get something going to get themselves back into this one. John Antelov's side staring a second defeat of the season in the face at the moment. If you're up for some more L1BC action on this bank holiday Monday, you can head along to Kinsman Field in North Vancouver tomorrow as Altitude take on Unity. The women's match goes at 1 o'clock, the men at 3:30. No stream for that one as the ball played through to Ajagbe. Ajagbe goes for the back post and didn't get the direction on it, and it was just too far away from Wathuta to run onto. But good work there from Amir Gissemi to set that chance up by winning the ball. But yeah, Altitude Unity tomorrow in North Vancouver. It should be a beautiful day on the North Shore. Get out to that one. No live streams. If you want to see that game as it gets played out in person, is the place to be. As the Caps have another look on goal there, and not really testing Jackson Gardner in the Rivers goal. Whitecaps still pushing, looking to see if they can add to their scoreline here. Rivers need to score, and they need to score quickly. Jumeau sends that in, but it's well read by Williams. Plays it out to Bean. Bean goes down under the challenge, and a petulant little kick away that is going to bring out a yellow card, if I know Mo Massini, and it is a yellow card for kicking the ball away. One of the more pointless cards, especially when your team is trying to chase a 2-goal deficit in the closing minutes here. Unity will be playing host to Rivers next Sunday. Rivers on the road again for that one. Whitecaps aren't in action again until the 9th of June when they are at home in week 7 to Altitude, so they're going to get a little bit of time off. I'm sure that is planned for the boys and girls for their summer exams. Also explaining why they have got an extra lot of games to start the season. This will be their 5th game of the season. The Whitecaps look to have made it 3 straight wins as well, to go with a draw, taking them to 10 points at the top of the standings. When they're next back in action though, they could be chasing down a TSS Rovers side who are sitting 1 point behind them with 2 games in hand. They have got a big game coming up at Burnaby Lake on Friday night. Highly recommend you get out to that one. as Burnaby take on TSS Rovers on Field 5 at Burnaby Lake. I'll be heading out for that one. No stream again for that one. The stream we will have for Game of the Week next Sunday will be the Unity Rivers game. So for all you Rivers fans watching this one, get a chance to take in the team again next Sunday on the road, as we have our first Game of the Week from Cloverdale out in Surrey. So the TSS Rovers game there last weekend, and it's a great game day experience that Unity have put on this season, and that should be a closely contested matchup in both the men and the women's division. The other match next weekend as well, over in Nanaimo, as Harbourside play host to Altitude. Rivers still pressing. It's a lot of huff without much puff. As Wathuta streaking forward, he's got a couple of options, tries to thread that through to a Jagby, but very well read by Haegon Kim. Rivers, 4 minutes in stoppage time to find 2 goals to try and salvage a point here. Whitecaps hoping to keep their first clean sheet of the season on the men's side. Hooper might have something to say about that as he fires this shot in. Was going wide anyway, but Alexander not taking any chances there and getting down well to stop that one. Gisemi with the throw into Jagby. Whitecaps exactly where they want to be just now, parked deep in the Rivers half in the closing minutes here, and there won't be too much urgency from them here. A Jagby. Gisemi now in at the corner flag. Maybe thought about heading there. Still a few minutes left to be doing that. Jagby though showing his power, bundled over though, and it's a chance now for Kim to bring this forward. Looks like it had been cut out by the Cats, but Rivers win it back. Hooper now. He's only got one other man up with him. He needs to get some more support. Rivers need to get players up in numbers here. Hamedi plays that out wide. Ball comes into the middle. Curry trying to dig that out the turf, wasn't able to do so to get the shot off, but Rivers keeping the pressure on here in the closing minutes. Nice little flick, but a little bit penned in the corner there, and just ends up out for another Rivers throw-in. Curry making movement, it's played inside instead. Cross comes in, took, I thought, a little bit of a deflection, didn't know, and just went behind. And that's going to be out for a Whitecaps goal kick here as we move into the final minute of regulation here at Thunderbird Stadium. Chaihat 1963 says, please, one goal, please. Donut 15 wants to know if Rivers are Livingston, are the Whitecaps Dundee? I would say with the Whitecaps resources, you're probably looking that they are a Rangers or a Celtic in League 1BC Scottish terms. TSS Rovers probably the other one of those. I won't say which one I'll say is which. Not sure you can say that Rivers are Livingston though either. Livingston bottom of the table, whereas Rivers aren't just now. They're perhaps more of an Aberdeen, a bit of a sleeping giant waiting to be awoken. As Mineta gets on quickly with that throw-in. As we move into stoppage time. Just a couple of minutes added on by the fourth official. Semi into the corner for Ajagbe. He'll just try and keep it there. Isn't able to do so, but Gissemi picks up the loose ball, slots it through, runs onto it. He's still keen to try and add to the tally here. He's not just wanting to run the minutes down, he wants to get a goal to his name. But the Caps give away a free kick there, and it might give Rivers a chance to launch what you feel would just be a consolation for them right now. And the death throes now of this one. Whitecaps look set to go back to the summit of League 1 BC. Their third straight win, their second in the space of 5 days. Bean still battling away in the middle of the park. That's slotted through for Wathuta to try and run onto it, and a huge collision between three players there. The flag up as well on the far side for offside. That was a lot of commitment in the closing seconds of this one. Hopefully Sydney Wathuta, he looks to be the one that's come off worse from that challenge. Just getting a little bit of treatment. There can't be too much time left to play out in this one either. It's actually David Ajagbe that was flattened there, not Sydney Wathuta. Apologies to any of Wathuta's family that were unnecessarily worried there, but Ajagbe up on his feet and limping off. Not sure we'll see him for the closing minutes of this one. All eyes now on referee Mo Maseni. How much more time are we going to see in this one? Ball bouncing about the Whitecaps box. Shot comes in, takes a deflection. It's going to be out for a corner. Full credit to Rivers, still pushing to try and get something from this one. As I mentioned earlier, goal difference could still be a big thing in terms of playoff placing. So a goal here for Rivers, although it might not help them in the match, it could help them overall in terms of standings come the end of the year. Kim. That's a very good delivery onto the head of DeSantis. It bounces off the body of Alexander. He recovers well, throws it out quickly, and it's a 4-on-1 break here for the Whitecaps. Wathuta, he's got Bean inside. It's going to fall through to the back post, onto the head of Bean, but the flag is up on the far side, and Elijah Bean denied his first League 1 BC goal, and referee Mo Maseni calls an end to proceedings in the process, and it finishes here at Thunderbird Stadium. Vancouver Whitecaps 2, Rivers 0, a goal in each half for the Whitecaps. Matteo Samori given the Whitecaps the lead right on the stroke of half time, and Tony Thomas getting the assist on that goal, and then the Whitecaps doubled their lead in the 51st minute. Half-time sub Sydney Wathuta getting on the score sheet, and again Thomas with the assist. Amoni Thomas, for me, the unofficial AFTN player of the game. He had an outstanding performance out there, as did Sahai Williams in the back for the Whitecaps. Thank you for spending this Sunday with us, watching the League 1 BC action play out. I've been Michael McCall. I'll be back next Sunday with the game of the week, which will be Unity taking on Rivers. Until then, have a rest of a fantastic long weekend. You can give me a follow on Twitter if you want at AFTN Canada, and we'll see you at the pitch soon. Take care, everybody.